Hey, how's it going? Hey, check out those signs. Whoa. Sorry. I'm having a technical difficulty. Okay, that's enough of that. Ah! Sorry. I'm still having a technical difficulty. Which way is this thing? Okay, that's the way. Hopefully I don't shut it off. Okay, get back on there. Oh, you little... There. Okay, and now we don't move again. Okay, so yeah, like I thought I pulled some cards. I didn't. It turns out I like tore up my whole little area. I'm like, where'd they go? I just knew. No, I didn't. I mean, some came out, but I was like, I'm actually not gonna do stuff with these. I didn't even look at them. And so the reason why, oh, that's wrong. The reason why I'm recording this is because, like, I was thinking about what I wrote in the description box in the last video. Because, I mean, I didn't really want to just keep talking about the same thing. I mean, I do. But I don't know if everybody wants to hear that in particular. But you know, it's still happening. It's still there. But what I had written was, even though like stuff like that is going on, like the stuff I talked about in the last video, uh, about like it's in the news, P Diddy and like the freak offs, and if you know like any more than just that, then it's gross and it's horrible. And but it happens, and it's not the only case. It's just the case that got particular attention. But I was like, okay, that stuff, I mean, it happens. It does. I mean, it's been happening for a long time, but how do we deal with that? Like, what if you're just like, I don't want that to be my world. Like it's maybe not in your world directly, but you don't want to hear about it. You don't want to know that it's like happening to people, and the whole sort of wave that supports it, that's behind it, is like so shallow and so cruel and so kind of just dumb. And it all kind of just lands in the fear column, because it's fear and just like all of the sort of dark feelings and victimization feelings and betrayal feelings, and just like, what the hell is all of a sudden happening? Feel like, what the... That's how I imagine people feel if they end up in these situations where, I don't know, like maybe they don't have a sense. They don't have a spidey sense going, could it be not kosher in here? Like, consider who and where you are, I guess, a little more darkly before you go places with people. And so I was like, okay, that is part of the world. But you know what? We have to live in it, right? And you know, I have this thing about the pre-planned life, right? That everyone has. And it's hard to remember that, because for so long it just wasn't a thing in my head, you know. And I'm still very likely to go, why are they doing that? Why are they acting that way? And it's like, there's a whole other thing going on with why, you know. And so I was like, okay, in order to live in the world, or live in the knowledge of that in the world, then I feel like I have to counterbalance it personally with other stuff, you know, like everything in moderation, I guess. But so I mean, yeah, you do have to find a way to navigate when things are not going like the most positive ways they could go. I'm just afraid I'm gonna dump this thing again. So then I'm like doing my thing, watching my stuff, and then this thing comes on, and it's kind of goes along with the whole vibration thing. And I've been seeing this one a lot, and I haven't watched it. And then it started coming like almost the same title card, but it was like a different name of the channel, and the title was slightly different, but very much the same. And they're all like, everyone has this energy and no one's using it. Everyone forgot about it. And it has hands with like something that I guess is energy lines, drawn line, like a line drawing of like, I guess it's supposed to be energy. And then also of that hand coming out of the fingertips, and then the other hand is doing something else with energy. Oh, it has two hands with a ball and something else. And there's like a few of those, and it's the same thing. And I kind of feel like it's going, hey, look, watch me, look at this. And I guess I will eventually, but I figure it's about the vibration thing that I have been talking about too, that we can control. And I guess I'm pretty sure that's what they're talking about, because the vibration energy is a vibration. Like everything that exists is basically a vibration. So can you manipulate it? Can you bend it to your will? And that is something that I've been trying to pursue for a number of reasons, because you can change your mood very quickly that way. I mean, it's like, okay, wait, I don't want to, I'll just keep going. I have like a number of things I want to say, but I can only say one thing at a time. It still makes sense. So, like, it's, on a personal level, it's been kind of a thing that I've been doing for a while, learning to control my energy, like learning like how to turn the vibration on and off. And so like yesterday and today, I was not very active as far as like doing exercise and stuff, because 2 days ago I did take a very long ride, but I deliberately, it's long, but it's flat the whole way. Like I'm not straining on my shoulder, which is injured, and not always, if I overwork it, I'm out of commission for a couple of days. So it's not really that sore. I mean, it is, but maybe it was more than that. But also my knees were bothering me, and that's unusual. Like, there's no reason. I'm not straining them at all, but the one it has a fake knee joint in there. Like I had to have a knee replacement, and that's the one that hurts. I wake up in the morning and it hurts, and I'm like, why? How is the artificial joint hurting? But today, it was both joints and both shoulders. And yesterday there was also a little bit. Pain was more extreme today, and that could be like that thing, like when you're in a car accident and you don't feel anything, but then like 3 days later you're like, it could be something like that. But I mean, I feel like I know my body pretty well by now, and I've been doing these routes. Like I deliberately took the easy. I didn't even hurry. I was just doodling, like Sunday driving, doodling along all slow, so as not to injure myself. But there is also, I guess ascension symptoms is what you could call it. But there's also like a lot of crazy solar stuff going on, a lot of astrological stuff going on, and then I don't know what all else, but it just seems like uh, lots of waves and energies sort of interacting, or I feel like crashing into each other, you know? But that's what I thought. That's what I feel like has been happening personally, like physically, how I've been feeling. So I really didn't do much of anything, but also I am having one of those null points. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. It's like right time to have another, but they're so, like, it almost seems like they're endless, like one after another, like one hasn't properly ended before the next one begins. And I understand that's a feature of change when I just feel like at odds, like everything that's normal I'm just like, I don't want to do that, I don't feel like doing that. And I don't know if it's just, well, I think it's all of the way I've been feeling, not just the past 2 days. And so I have just been having to sort of, I like placate myself in a way, like, don't like get all bugged out, like, I don't know what to do, I gotta find something to do, like, don't get all hectic and weird, which I have a tendency to do sometimes, and it's uncomfortable when I can't find the something to do. And then, oh my god, it's not good. Either just like an overtired toddler, it has to burn out, and it just doesn't feel good, because then I'm just exhausted emotionally and physically. When did I become such a weakling? But anyway, so like that has just been my state of being for the past couple of days. And then like today I had people in the house, and I had like my normal caregiver comes on this day. It's a normal day for her to be here, but there were maintenance crews here for the past 5 days or so, because the inspections that they do here on my federal low-income housing complex once a year is later this month, in a couple of weeks. And I've had stuff be in disrepair and not repaired for literal years, and asking, and well, anyway, they were in today to take care of some of it, and they'll be back tomorrow. And I do not like it. I don't want people in my house. I don't want people. It's like I just get to borrow this place, and I have to have. You're supposed to have 1 annual inspection. They have inspections like 6 times a year here. I don't know what they're looking for. My problem with it is, well, I don't want anybody in here touching stuff, and they came in twice this week and put stuff out of place that took them a second to move and would have taken them a second to replace. And I just flipped my lid. I was like, how disrespectful. But seriously, you couldn't just put the thing back, the very lightweight and empty containers, just back, no, you had to leave them in the middle of the floor, so I come in the wheelchair and I have to, like, they basically, it was like, not as bad as, but they moved stuff around in such a way that it just made it so that I had to come in behind them and rearrange furniture, basically. And so, nothing heavy, or else I wouldn't be able to do it. But I just, someone's in your place and you come back and it's in disarray and it feels crappy. So I've talked about this. I talked about it in my last video, but then they came in the next day and did it again. I was like, I have had up to over here with these people. So today, 2 of them came back, but they were maintenance guys, and they just came to fix stuff, which they did, but that took a long time. And again, I don't want people in my house. So I spent the whole day moderating me because the caregiver is new and I like her okay. I mean, she's nice and everything. I don't know that we personally click that well, so I guess that's like my discomfort with her. But I guess that's a me thing, because she seems to like me very well, and she has helped me get my place picked up better than it has been in a really long time. So I super appreciate that. And that's the thing, I want someone here to help me with stuff like that, and I do need to have like contact with humans other than people I see in the store, because I'm not really friendly with anyone that lives here, and I'm not from this area or state. It doesn't matter what area, I'm not from this state. I didn't grow up here, so it's, you know, it's just I don't have that familiar background and people that I know, that it's just like a sort of a feeling of comfort to like know your area and the people, and you grew up there, you know what I mean? So I don't have that here, and so I don't go completely nutball. It's good to have human contact. And a lot of days I just don't want it. I wake up and I want to call up and go, don't send them, but I can't do that. I can't do that all the time, and I can't really do it that often, and it fucks up their hours, so it's not cool. And then the other people, you know, whatever, they're nice enough, but boy, were their conversations. Look at the we were having some little debates, and actually I didn't want to do it, have the debates, because I didn't want them in there in the first place. I just wanted them to hurry up. But again, moderating the mood in that, and you always have to do that, but I'm conscious of it in a way because of trying to control the vibration. It's like a different, what is the word? You're coming at it from a different angle, I guess, a different format, and it's taken some getting used to. And I think it's me that's changed, where I used to be a lot more tolerant and like, yeah, come on in, and I'm just glad to have somebody to talk to. Now I'm like, come in and get whatever you gotta do done and get the fuck out. But I can't be like that. I gotta be nice about it. But in the past, I was more inclined to just be all saying that just cause I wanted to, I guess. Like if I felt if I felt like saying it in the moment, I would probably just say it, and that doesn't go over well. So I've been paying a little bit more attention to that, again, moderating the controls. And so I just feel like it's a different level. Obviously, I just said it. It's a different level of I don't know, moderating the self or whatever. So there's something else I wanted to say, if I can dig it out of my brain. Oh, the tuning the vibration of myself. I can just only, I couldn't detect it in somebody else, and I don't think so. Obviously, I'm talking about myself. And here's the other thing that I learned this years ago from interacting with my cat, that the one I'm thinking of passed on a few years ago, so it started with him, but I can also do it with this one that I have now. And that is, nearly all the time, set the intention. That's just one to come out. And I guess that's true. Set the intention to put out the call, you know, that I want him to come, but it's not like like I can call him and sometimes he'll come and sometimes he won't. And sometimes I don't call out loud. Sometimes I'll just sit there, and at first I was doing that, like silently calling him that way, but I stopped doing that because I realized that when I get in a certain state of mind, like I'm about to do something creative, for example, he'll want to be near me, or when I meditate, he'll want to be near me. And so I noticed, like, especially when I was meditating, I noticed how I was feeling when he'd come up. So that was like a starting point for tuning the vibration. And so that's something I know I can do. And with my sweetie, who I know I said I broke it off with, but quick aside, of course, misunderstandings on my part and me flying off the handle, and I don't know why I'm doing that. But, I mean, let's just say there can be improvements from everyone. They're, I guess, always involved. But I noticed that sometimes it works with him. And I also noticed when I'm trying to get it to work with him, and you can't try, but when I know I'm wanting to reach out in that way, the cat comes a running like every time. So now I know what I need to be feeling to attract those certain things, but not everything. Like something I was watching earlier, it was that Archive 81 show, which, dang it ended without ending as usual. Stupid cable. Enjoy us, interrupt us. I hate that. But anyway, they were what the main thing everybody in the show was trying to do was cross dimensions from Earth to this other one. Just briefly, there's more to it than that, but at one point they were in this sort of scientific lab that was trying to achieve that without witchcraft and demonology, because that's how the other way they were doing it. And spoilers. Anyway, they were trying to do it with science, so they had these, I'm sure they're not real, but there's some sort of, like, they almost look like sonar things, like a round circle with a clock arm circling. But they also had like electronic representations of, I don't know, whatever's on like an EEG type thing, you know what those, whatever they're called. I don't know. And they were saying that they got through to the other dimension using a tuning fork. Remember the witches and stuff? Oh, well, you can't remember because I didn't really say, but that is also what they were, witchcraft. So they were using a tuning fork, and she was saying every dimension has its own vibration, which, bingo, absolutely is. I think scientists would agree with that, except that those are a reality, or at least a potential. But I think it's pretty well known in some parts of the science community. I don't know. Well, don't get sidetracked. So that's what I'm saying. I realize because, well, I don't really try to get anything else. Like, I'm not really trying to manifest stuff. I'm not trying to manifest a hole in a doorway into another dimension. Although I did say I wanted to be able to, like, you know, vibrate my hand into the top here. Like, if I can figure out how to do that, I just think it's freaking cool. Seems pretty advanced. I think I have a long way to go, but I guess the point, after it's not all about me, is that, well, everyone else can also, you know, try to achieve these things. Because, oh, well, here's a thing that occurred to me right before I started doing this. There's a lot of videos, like the one I was talking about, they always, or actually, no, I don't think that's one of these ones, but if you're on, like, YouTube in particular, well, I don't know, because I don't look at other channels, and I don't see this stuff on Facebook, but I just look at my own feed, pretty much. Yeah, all about me all the time, shut up. But anyway, what was I saying? A lot of the channels, the spiritual channels, will be all talking about chosen ones, chosen one, chosen one. And then today I saw the more powerful than the other chosen one, chosen ones. And I was like, okay, now this is just getting ridiculous. Because what I feel like is, well, I am just a regular one, but I can achieve with some study all of the things, you know. Well, not all of them, because we just don't all come completely endowed with every psychic ability out there. I think those individuals are not, you know, they're kind of rare. But we all have something, and it can all be developed. So that's, you know, like, that's where I'm at. Like, I want to like get those things happening more, amplify that stuff, because it just sounds, I know, sorry, it just sounds fun though. I'm not like trying to read people's minds and stuff, but there are ways that it could be helpful. There are ways that it can be helpful. And also, I think it's how we're meant to be, you know. So yeah, I almost wrote it on my board just to mock it, because it's all chosen one this, chosen one that. Like, everyone, all it takes is awakening and realizing that, oh, I have these capabilities that are I wasn't even aware that I could do these things. So yeah, I don't know. Then I had to remind myself, remember, like, even if it's channeled stuff, it's still going through a human before it gets to you. So just keep in mind those, you know, we can have our little foibles and things and biases. Everything's some salt. Just have everything with some salt on the side, just in case. So, anything else? Oh, yeah, so when I was talking before about manifesting, like manifesting plus, or just still manifesting, but beyond like material things that you just want for yourself, or that you want even like world peace or something like that, that's great, you know, but there are levels to everything. And I feel like when you learn to tune your vibration, manifesting becomes a whole different ball game. Like summoning the cat, you know, or summoning the guy. It's like mind blowing when it works. It was like, oh my gosh, what else can I do? And I think that is healthy for us to pursue, because it's actually bringing us back to who we really are. Like the spiritual videos always say, you remember who you really are. Wake up to who you really are, or awaken to who you really are. They're not as abrupt as wake up to who you are. This is cracking myself up. Sorry. Okay, so like, yeah, money. I want to manifest money, I guess. I don't want to manifest like I want to become a millionaire. When I want to manifest money, it's like I need money for this, and that's what I manifest. I don't know, it's just a me thing. Because what I want usually just comes somehow, you know, like I help it myself, or else, well, not somehow, you know, like I want it and I think about it and maybe pray about it or say aloud, I want this thing. Like, I'm not doing like any intricate spell or anything. Like, I don't even think that's necessary for my needs, for my ends. It hasn't, like I said, everything like is working good. Once I got some perspective on what I actually wanted, because I used to want to be rich and famous when I was still able to play my music, and then once I got sick, my perception changed. And by sick, I mean when I was 26, all of a sudden I started becoming paralyzed on my left side. Like, the whole thing over the course of the year of my 26th year, I became paralyzed. And that's a story for another time, but it changed my whole outlook on life, basically. Like, my very loose career plan went from being famous and going on tour, and then I saw like my friends in Guns N' Roses and every other band in Hollywood become junkies and a bunch of people die, and I was like, okay, put the brakes on that. And then I was like, okay, well, I can still like just play around and do like van tours, because that was what I enjoyed doing, what I wanted to do. Like, my own band, I didn't get to do that, and I traveled with other people's bands when they went on the van tours, and that was great fun too. I imagine if I asked, I might be able to still do that, but anyway, I wouldn't. Too many old woman things and a dependent. But it was like, I was just about to say all of a sudden that wasn't my life anymore, but it wasn't sudden. And it took like over a decade before I could even think about it with any kind of clarity, understanding. Like, I pretty much in shock for about 10 years and shut off almost all of my facilities, like, emotionally. It just was like, I couldn't deal. So I didn't. But I didn't know it at the time. It wasn't until after that I snapped out of it. But okay, see, look, I'm getting all sidetracked. But anyway, yeah. Now, what I want to manifest is not like a big deal. It's manageable. It's not extensive or whatever, extravagant. Because I see, like, well, I want life to be easy. So it seems like when you take on more of stuff like that, the ease becomes less. Like, things become more complicated. And so that, I think, is part of when you are on the next level of manifesting stuff, and you realize, like, for me, realizing the mechanics of it, like the being able to tune the vibration, that makes me think about manifesting completely differently. Like, you have a whole other level of control. Like, you're not just wishing and asking and meditating for it to be. Like, you can, like, put your thumb on the dang what do you call those things in the rudder? You steer your own dang ship. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, that is what I wanted to talk about. I did it. Thank you and good night. Oh my God, love you. Bye.